it going, everyone? Dread here. I wanted to talk to you, I guess. Nothing in particular. I'm driving. I'm a little bit bored. I just went and picked up some shopping. I'm eating some Skittles. I don't really eat sweets, but I thought, you know what? Live in the moment. I'm gonna eat some Skittles. But no, nothing in particular. Just wanted to kind of make a video. Haven't done one of these in a while. Haven't spoke to you guys about stuff in a long time. Been a bit busy. Been a little bit busy. Kind of ties into the first thing that I want to talk about, and that is me taking a little break. So a lot of people who follow me on Twitter will notice that I took a little break. Be wondering why. I got some messages, lovely messages really, from people, you know, thinking, I don't know, I had a deadly disease or something, or, you know, thinking that I was dying. I'm not dying. I'm alright. I'm alive. I'm in good health. I mean, I'm eating Skittles, so I'm making it worse, but no, everything's good. Just needed a break. Was, you know, so people will know about me who've known me for a while, especially people in real life, but you know, people in the space will know that I'm a hard worker. You know, I push myself, especially when it's something I like doing, and if it's something I'm into and I love, I get obsessed by it. And I put a tweet up about that recently. I'm either completely obsessed or just uninterested. And you know, crypto and all of this stuff, I get obsessed by it, and I go full force, you know. So I work really hard, just because I don't feel like I'm working really, and you know, that leads to burnout, and it always, it's the same. It always ends the same way. I work super hard, I push myself, I take on too much, nothing that I need to do but stuff I want to do, and then I hit a wall and I go, oh shit, I'm fucked, I need a break. And that was the moment I was at. You know, I've been doing a lot of stuff. I'm in a unique position at the moment because, you know, the way things have gone for me, you know, I left work last year. Obviously I was still into that. Sorry if you can hear my keys, by the way. I can hear them rattling around, but you know, there's a production level we're getting while we're driving. But yeah, last year I left my job, so I was doing the 9 to 5 grind, which is not fun. I don't recommend it. But I left that, and I was working. I was doing some consultancy work with some projects, helping them behind the scenes, networking, helping them with relationships, creating content for them, for their social media channels, which was good. And, you know, thankful to some of the projects that helped me. You know, Coin Metro was one. Massive thanks to those guys, because they helped me, you know, give up the 9 to 5 grind, and they took a chance on me. And I just love those guys, to be honest, man. I know those guys behind the scenes. Oliver especially, you know, he breaks my balls all the time, but he's a real good guy, and the whole team is just strong, and they're building something that I really believe in as well. And that's the reason why I wanted to help them in the role I could. But God, I'm at a roundabout, and I couldn't have picked a worse spot right now. I think I'm in the wrong lane. No, I'm not. Go right. So yeah, I did the consultancy thing. But recently I've dropped all the consultancy work just because things have gone kind of well, you know, from the investment side of things. And you know, I have a few things going, but nothing that's time consuming, nothing that's that urgent. And I kind of I'm in a position where I'm kind of getting to do the things I want to do, you know. And that ties in with the Roundtable, you know. So we created this Roundtable thing. It's something that I've been wanting to do for a while. And you know, I didn't realize how much that needed to be created up front, behind the scenes, right? And it was a lot of work, and I think that tied in with all the other stuff I had going on in my life at the time, and all the other kind of work stuff I was doing. I think I just kind of reached that breaking point, you know, where I was doing too much. I was just doing too much. And you know, so you know, we have a bunch of guys behind the scenes helping, but you know, 1 or 2 of them aren't really available at the moment, you know, taking some vacation time or whatever, and a lot of the responsibility was kind of on me, and just at that point in time, I just couldn't really handle it, man. It was just too much. So I needed a break, and I'm going to Brighton tomorrow, which would be pretty cool. And I'm going camping, I think, in like a week and a half. So I'm coming out of the break now. I've taken time from my family, and we've really just kind of relaxed, getting better night's sleep. But you know, I'm going to be taking a semi-break, I guess. A semi-break. Still going to be enjoying time with the family, but I'm going to try and work around and sort out a proper schedule for it all. But yeah, that's kind of what's been going on with me personally. So you know, maybe people have noticed that the posting has been a little bit erratic, but I'm trying my best with what I've got at the moment. You got to take care of yourself, guys. That's the big point, really. You can't push through the burnout. You'll fuck yourself. So that is my side of things. Now the markets themselves have been. So we're going to talk about the markets, and then we'll talk about projects, because they're different, and there's always a juxtaposition between the two. There's always a big divergence, and that's the stuff I love. You know, I love that sort of stuff. But so let's look at the market, right? So I can't look at it. I'm driving, so I literally can't see a screen or a chart or anything. And I'm trying to parallel park as I do this. So if I can talk and parallel park at the same time, I'll feel very good, because I'm bad at parallel parking. Oh, there you go, up the curb. But I'm going to save it. This is great content. Listening to someone parallel park. There we go. I think I did all right. So yeah, so let's talk about the market. I'm going to turn the car off. So let's talk about the market. So the market is funny at the moment, right? It's a bit fragile, very, very sensitive, very reactive. You know, positive news, price goes up, FUD, or negative news, price goes down. And, you know, this is something I've talked to a few people about. And, you know, we had China FUD so many times over the years that you just kind of, just didn't even really listen to it anymore. You know, you kind of just water off a duck's back. But this time it's real. You know, China have had a real crackdown. They've banned Bitcoin mining. They're closing the on and off ramps. And yeah, this time it seems like it's for real. And that's had an effect on the market, clearly. But where China have kind of dropped the ball, in my opinion, other countries are picking it up. And the US looks like that they're embracing mining with open arms, especially states like Texas. And then you obviously have countries like El Salvador. It looks like Argentina are now really opening the door. Members are looking to pass legislation there. And then we have, you know, countries like Panama, Venezuela, Paraguay, and they're all looks like they're reacting positive to Bitcoin, and maybe they'll pass similar laws to what El Salvador did. So it's very, very volatile, I guess, news-wise. I don't think chart-wise it is, and this is something that I've been thinking about recently. You know, when we always get asked, are we at the market top, or it's just a stop? And it's something that I've been thinking about, and I'm still open-minded on it all. But when we had the cycle top in 2017, 2018, it was a clear blow off top, right? Very big wick, and then price absolutely crushed on after it. But what came after was a lot of volatility. You know, we dumped all the way down to, say, 11, and all the way up to 17, and all the way back down to 13. Look, I don't have the charts in front of me. I'm guessing. But off the top of my head, that's what I think was the case. It was very volatile. Now, we've had this huge crash from 65. Well, let's call it 60 to 30, 35. Big crash. But in terms of a bounce and volatility after, there's not really been much. You know, the range is quite tight. The range is between 30 to 38. Again, I don't have the charts. But it's a tight range. We haven't had that volatility that normally comes after a huge a huge market blow off. And that says to me that we're more likely in an accumulation range. And I've seen some tweets around Twitter September 2020 where we had a similar setup, where we had this rounded top and we had these 4 peaks, and it was more rounded rather than a blow off, and then we had a dump. And September 2020 looks awfully like this right now, and we did have a dump, and then what came after that was a huge move from 10k up to 65. So is that playing out again? You know, who knows? Who knows? But as of right now, I think we are in an accumulation range rather than a blow off top. But hey, no one knows, and that's the thing. I think anyone on crypto Twitter or anyone on YouTube or anyone telling you they know exactly what's going to happen are bullshitting you. They're lying. They don't have a clue. No one has a clue. Okay, everyone's guessing. Everyone can give their educated guesses, but no one knows. Nobody knows. So keep that in mind, okay? You can do all the research in the world, but if one guy like Elon Musk decides to wake up one day and say, hey, fuck Bitcoin, look, the market's going to react to that, okay? If the US come out tomorrow and say, hey, look, we're going to embrace Bitcoin and make Bitcoin the #1 global reserve currency and fuck the dollar, we want Bitcoin. Mate, the price is going to explode, and no TA would prepare you for that. So no one knows what's going to happen. Everyone can make a guess, but we can only go on educated guesses from the past. But I also think we should keep in mind that we might just be entering uncharted waters right now. You know, the landscape is so different to 3-4 years ago, and 8 years ago. We're in uncharted waters, really. You know, we have countries making Bitcoin legal tender. We have potentially the US embracing Bitcoin mining. You know, the global landscape around it. We have financial institutions adopting Bitcoin, integrating Bitcoin, and cryptocurrencies as a whole. You know, cryptocurrencies are being adopted by financial institutions. You know, companies like Quant, Allianceblock, making that easier, the bridge between finance and decentralized finance, Unizen as well. You know, these projects, their technologies are being adopted. So 4 years ago, that wasn't the case. It was websites and logos and ICOs, and you know, we got a new logo, it's going to pump 500% or whatever it was. But the landscape's different. So I do think we should keep that in mind, that we might just be entering uncharted waters right now, rather than looking at the past and saying this is exactly what's going to happen. Because yes, it's still a speculative market, of course, but the big boys are here now. They're here. We've been waiting for years, and now they arrived. And this is going to become their game. This is going to be their game. The whales, the rich, the big boys, they know how to play this game, and they're willing to wait a lot longer than you are. So the best thing you can do is really do as much research as you can and expand your horizons and your timelines, because these guys will punish you if you're not willing to be patient. So I don't know where the market is right now, but all I know is we are possibly in uncharted waters, and it's good to keep an open mind. Maybe this was the market top, but maybe it wasn't. So we have to keep an eye on that. In terms of projects, individual projects, I think that there's a lot of bullish news at the moment. A lot of bullish news. And I know Quant from Terra, recently did an interview with on Real Vision. I haven't listened to it yet, but I've heard really good things. And we have Columbus 5 coming up. We have a lot. There's 130 plus protocols and applications being developed on the Terra ecosystem right now. Like, that ecosystem is a monster, and I'm personally shocked that the market cap is still as low as it is. And I know you could say, wow, 2 billion, 3 billion, that's a lot. It's not. When you compare it to other projects, like Polkadot or Cardano, or all of these guys operating in the top 10, Terra should be there right now. The amount of activity and buzz, and the institutions that they're partnering with and working with, and who are taking a big interest in Terra, they deserve to be higher. And I do think they'll be higher. I think they'll be a lot higher by the end of the year. And I've already talked at length about Luna as a token, and its and how it works with UST, and the more demand for UST means the more Luna burnt. But that's just one part of it. And UST adoption, I believe, is going to be large, and you're going to see that reflected in the price of Luna. And look, it's all about adoption. And I've said this before, when you have a project that can have a mixture of real adoption with killer tokenomics, they're the projects that are going to explode. They're the ones. Quant, Terra, Quant and Luna, those guys, they're the ones that, they're two of my three biggest positions right now, because they've got that blend perfectly. And look, real adoption matters. You need the real adoption. But when you have killer tokenomics behind it, that is just tasty. And look, Quant's been on an amazing run lately. And, OVN's still to come. But the OVN is just one part of this, That's just a nice milestone, That's just a personal milestone. That's obviously it's going to be a huge network, and a huge, the ecosystem of ecosystems doesn't get bigger than that, really. But it's still just a milestone. There's still going to be a lot of work that comes after that. There's still going to be a lot of, still going to have to wait to see all of these ecosystems plug into the network. But 90 to 95% of the projects that Quant are working with have not even been announced yet. And I'm not pulling that figure out my arse, guys. That is a reality. So that is something we need to keep in mind, We're at the start. In my opinion, we're at the start. We're at what, $80, $70, something like that? We're at the start right now. And that's exciting to me. That's exciting because, yes, I thought Quant would be higher than where it is. But obviously timelines expand and they change. And I genuinely think the whole direction of the project took a bit of a change. Sometime in 2019. That's just my opinion. I might be wrong, but I think things changed, and they had to switch direction a little bit and assess themselves and the direction they're going in and what they want to achieve, and can they achieve it with the team they had, with the personnel, with all of that. And they had to grow, and they had to do, if they were going to do this, they had to do it right, because the clients they're working with are no joke. When you're talking about central banks and governments and huge financial institutions, some of the biggest institutions in the world, you got to get it right, and the direction has to be right, the vision has to be sound. So I think they had a tricky period a couple of years back, and I think they came through that, and they're better for it now. But I think we haven't even really started. We haven't even really begun. Gilbert said before, where were Ethereum 2-3 years into their life cycle, These things take time, and I have no doubts they'll get there. The team's stacked. And that brings me on to Allianceblock. Allianceblock just added 10 C-level executives to their project, and I listened to the live stream today. Man, those guys, I can't even remember their names right now, to be honest with you. But those guys have a wealth of experience. And Allianceblock, I've said before, Allianceblock, in terms of products, their suite of products, there might not be a better project in the space right now. Just absolute killers on that team, creating some incredible technologies, and there will not be a single project that wouldn't benefit from their compliance layer and a bunch of their other technology, liquidity mining as a service. Allianceblock just have amazing products, an amazing team, and they've just added 10 C-level executives. Who does that in a pandemic? they're doing some amazing things over there. And look, I could go on. I could keep going on. You know, I'm extremely excited for Unizen this year. But I've got to get out of this car because it's hot, and I've got to take my shopping in. But I just wanted to talk to you guys a little bit. You know, like this, it's very informal. I was just in the car and I thought, you know what, I'm going to talk to you guys. So I hope you like this. I might do some more of it, maybe. And sorry if it's a bit rambly, but obviously I can't edit it when I'm driving. I can't really think about what I want to say. I don't have stuff in front of me. I'm not reading off a script. So yeah, let me know if you like this sort of stuff. Maybe I'll do some more. So I hope you all have a good weekend coming up, guys. And I will speak to you. I'll speak to you when I speak to you. Bye.